Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to our little drug corner in which we are working on making a lot of bug repellent. For in today's episode, we are going to go out and we are going to try and tame one of the dark denizens of the Ark world. Hopefully the giant millipede, but if failing that, one of the bats or one of the spiders. Something which is a bit more different to our current collection of animals, and because of that, we need bug repellents, because it makes us almost invisible to them, so that we can feed them, or hand feed them, which is kind of terrifying honestly, into being our bestest friends ever. I mean, it's fine that we club and knock out penguins, but when it comes to giant millipedes, we hand feed them. So, being a little bit scared about the animals we are about to go and face, I decided to upgrade my armour. The problem being, it's chitin armour, and it looks like this. Finally on our way. So the two locations I could easily go to would either be the underground or over there to Skull Mountain. Now Skull Mountain, I know for a fact, has bats and it has the giant millipedes. It also has dung beetles. The underground, I know for a fact, definitely has giant millipedes and spiders. I'm not sure how much of the other animals each one has, but I'm going to go for the underground for now, because the two main ones I really want would be the spider and the millipede. Well, this is it. I had a bit of trouble finding my way here because I am a complete derp, but here we are at last. The hole into the abyss. Now, for the side of safety, I am going to be using the bug repellent a little bit early, a little bit wasteful, I admit, but I don't really fancy being killed by spiders, giant millipedes, and whatever else is down here. And it's got very dark very quick. You can probably see what's going on better than me, because I've most likely upped the contrast in editing. I can't see a thing right now. For reference, I'm completely blind. Okay, I can see one giant millipede. That's good enough. That's actually perfect. I saw one giant millipede and nothing else. No, I think there's one over there as well. Thankfully I do have a torch. Hello, little fella. That is a very creepy noise. There you go. Ah! Is that you eating? No, that's you being aggressive. We got way too close. I hate the fact they break armor quickly. I didn't think it'd be that quick, though. Well, apparently that was too close. Which is honestly not that close, which is surprising. I would bring one of these to the surface so I can see what I'm doing better, but I don't really want it to run off. Let's try again. I don't even know why I put armor back on, honestly, since if they do attack me, I'm going to instantly lose it again. I just thought it would break in several hits, not one. Slowly. Okay, it's a lower level one. I would actually rather have the higher level. Oh, that noise is a indicator you're getting too close by the looks of things. Or maybe it's not, and I'm just reading far too into it. Either way, be far more cautious this time. There's the head. Back off. So the eating animation is a lot calmer than I thought it was. Once I tame this, the other millipede is going to attack it, isn't it? It's definitely the best course of action then to tame this one, not the weaker one. Whilst I'm waiting for it to get hungry again, let's quickly get ourselves some more chitin. There we are. Sorry, Mr. Spider, but I can only carry one animal at a time, and I'm already taming the giant millipede. That was almost enough to actually fully replenish our stock. Fantastic. Dung beetles, do you drop chitin? I actually don't know. I mean, you should do, but a game is a game. You drop lots of chitin, and I can see several scorpions down there. Okay, back to where we were. Let's see if we can tame this thing. Are you hungry yet, buddy? That noise, though! There we go. Everything's okay. One more, and we have our first giant millipede. Now, some people have been telling me this is actually a giant centipede, and I don't really know, which is surprising since I've actually kept giant millipedes and giant centipedes in real life. In fact, right now, I have a giant millipede for a pet. But I can't tell. If it's venomous and has fangs on the front, it really should be a centipede. But saying that, this is an ancient version, and so it's more to do with ancestry, so it could be either. Honestly, I don't really care too much. Oh, it definitely has the 2 front fangs. Which are also arms, technically. We got it. We've got it. Yep, knew it would happen. Okay, you two fight each other to the death. I'll make things a bit less fair. Can't aim for the head, it's too risky. Ooh. Well done, my version. You have 900 health. That is not bad for your level. I don't actually know what your uses are, to be honest. I haven't really looked into you too much. Oh, wait, do you have any inventory? Oh! I need to hunt these things. Even if it's just for arrows. Hey, yo. Oh, look at that beautiful little face. Well, I decided to do a little bit of Googling whilst I was on the way back, because occasionally I actually care slightly enough to figure out some things about the animals we have. And I don't mean Googling about the animal we have in Ark, but the real-life version of this, the one which scuttled along our land long, long ago. And first of all, it's in the Millipede class, so it is indeed a millipede, and second of all, it was meant to be a herbivore, or at least we theorise it's meant to be a herbivore without strong mouthparts. I don't quite think we've got this right, although we haven't actually found a fossil with the mouthparts intact, so all of that is theory. Either way, this is definitely not meant to be an accurate representation of the ancient version, and the fact that it's a millipede should really indicate it's more of a herbivore, more calm, but the acid thing makes sense because, well, millipedes can excrete some horrible, horrible stuff if they get scared, just like mine does. Far, far too regularly. Anyway, we need to make this thing saddle, so let's go straight over to the engrams, and I will probably have to level up for this. Yes, I will, and thankfully we are just about to level, so I'll just go off and make some walls for the giant wall in the background, which is getting closer and closer to being finished between each episode, and I'll be right back making the saddle. So, for the millipede saddle, we need a little bit more hide, we need a little bit more metal which could already be finished, depending on the furnace next to me, we need a little bit of flint, which is absolutely fine, and we need some obsidian. Now, the obsidian we can get whilst we're getting the spider, since it's both found in the same place. So, let's go ahead, let's grab the metal from there. Apparently I had a little bit more than I thought. Fantastic. And I would make some more chitin armor right now, but I feel like it's just going to break again, so we'll make it when we come back. All the rest of the stuff we can get pretty easily from around here, so with that, let's get going, you creepy, creepy giant millipede. I don't know what I'm meant to be upgrading with you, honestly. Are you meant to be fighting? Are you meant to be moving? Are you meant to have extremely high health? I'll decide that when we come back, but for now, here's some meat for you to eat. To the spider! I just got a little bit distracted by a supply drop, and lo and behold, we get a ramshackle Sarco saddle. Now, originally, I thought this was just another blueprint, I wasn't going to mention it. Then I looked at it again and realised, oh, this means we can go out and get a Sarco, and we already have a saddle for it. So, perhaps that will happen in the not-so-distant future. Yoink. This will be my spider, this poor little level 2. Okay, so we're back in the underground. I'm going to be bringing this spider over to the section we just tamed the Millipede, because it means I can stick here whilst I'm collecting obsidian, but also it's nowhere near all the other enemies, which means we're less likely to bump into them and then accidentally get killed by a very, very angry spider, millipede, scorpion, or perhaps even dung beetle, which do an oddly high amount of damage. They're not particularly strong, but stronger than you might expect. Now where did that spider go? There we are. Hello? How you doing? I'm gonna call you Charlotte. There we are. You can eat that. I'm going to get some obsidian, and I'll be right back when we're closer to timing the thing. I feel like the ground around here might be a little bit buggy. I had a bit of trouble moving the Argentavis around, and now we've put down the spider, it hasn't moved once. It's just been sitting there this entire time, and that was very similar to how the Millipede was acting, so is the ground around here a little bit buggy, or perhaps I'm just getting very lucky with very passive animals? Soon you will be the second of the dastardly denizens of the dark dungeons to join our little group, as soon as you eat a little bit faster. You have tamed the spider, which actually just made me realise we didn't even look at the dossier of the other one. So let's have a quick look-see at this one. Domesticated. As long as it is kept far from arachnophobics, domesticated spiders make for an excellent guardian creature for anyone wanting to avoid killing. Their strange web-spraying behaviour is also quite helpful while hunting fast fleeing prey. They are too small to be used as mounts, however. I thought you could make a spider saddle. Am I wrong there about the arachnids? Let's have a quick look-see. Right, how do you actually spell your name exactly there, my lovely fellow? Okay. I knew you could, so you can have them as mounts, so I suppose that's a little bit outdated. I almost forgot about the Millipede again just then. It seems like my memory is getting worse with every passing video. So, where are you? There we are. The giant Millipede, which looks like a really bizarre Pokemon. I don't know why. I think it's something to do with how the head's been done and the very light purples, or perhaps I've just been playing far too much Pokemon Go. Domesticated. Like most of the arthropods on the island, the Millipede is simple-minded and relatively easy to tame. I will actually agree with that. Despite the fact I aggroed it twice, that was me being stupid and not being used to the whole passive tame thing since I've not done it in such a long time. In terms of how quick it was definitely faster than the spider, despite being a higher level. It is an almost entirely military mount, useful mostly for attacking at a distance thanks to its unique defenses. Whether hunting or warring, the Millipede is generally safe from all but the largest of creatures. Yeah, I wonder how well its defense actually is, since it's just a row of armor. I can only imagine that's pretty darn good. But that also hints to the fact that maybe we can use that spit attack whilst we're mounted on it, so I'm hoping that's true. Something about the broken physics of the Argentavis holding things will never get old to me. Also, of course, the fact I'm flying directly up with the wings moving like this whilst we clip through a mountain. Physics, not really that common over in Ark. I'm sure lots of you noticed before I did that I actually had hide in my inventory the entire time. Thankfully I noticed just before leaving the base because I was checking out to see if we had any narco berries on the bear. Either way, we now have the saddle and I've decided to give it adorable little glasses. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. So the moment of truth. Can we use the venom spit? We can, okay. Turning's a bit slow. Turning's very slow. But let's see how effective we are at hunting. I'm going to go out and see if we can find a Dilo or something, and see if hunting with this thing is any good. God, this is creepy, though. Ooh. So the Millipede is pretty good at climbing, which is pretty good considering how small the legs are. If we couldn't climb, we'd be stuck by pretty much everything, so that's pretty good to know. I wonder how good at climbing it is, though. Let's have a quick go over here on this cliffside. So that's a pretty steep cliffside, honestly, yeah, almost vertical. It's trying. It is trying, but no. Oh, there it goes! Not quite. So this is a bit too steep then, okay. I'll have to keep on testing that out, trying to see what we can climb and what we can't. Smaller obstacles very easily, but it seems like if the obstacle's just too big, it doesn't really work out. Well, this wasn't the test I was meant to be doing, but this Carno just attacked us, so here we are, giant Millipede versus Carno. Wow, it's going to be so close. And we win! Okay, now admittedly the Carno was only level 4, but even so. Well done to the giant Millipede of death. After a few more tests and finally googling it for confirmation, it turns out the spit attack does a tiny bit of damage versus flesh or non-armor, but that's just about it. It doesn't have any other effect on animals other than doing a little bit of damage, so it's good if an enemy's running away, I suppose, but not much else. I don't think I'll be using the Millipede too much, as it feels like my other predators are definitely stronger, but at the same time, it does have a certain uniqueness factor. And just look how creepy that attack is. So, with the testing out of the way, let's get back to the base and let's get our final time done of the day, the bat. That is really creepy, yet oddly hypnotic. Skull Island, welcome back. So there's a bat right there, sadly a little bit too high. What I'm after is a bat which is hanging around the ledges a little bit more, because I don't know how else we're going to tame these things, because the lovely bowlers don't actually work on them. I was going to make one until I googled it to make sure it would work, turns out it doesn't. And I can't seem to feed them when I'm on the Avis, because there was one outside before we landed. So how am I going to do this? Also, that's a Titan boa! I only have 6 shots left because I was messing around earlier. Oh, level 1. Well, that was pretty pleasant. Ooh! Well, oh wait, no, that doesn't work because you can't tame them if they're feeding, because that counts as a distraction. Which is really annoying. Are you level 1? Well, at least I'll make it easier if I ever figure out how I'm going to try and tame you. Get this out of the way. We may need to have a better plan of action. The only thing I can think of doing if we can't find an easy to tame bat is to perhaps aggro one, get its lovely aggression, and then draw it back to a base in which we trap it in a building, or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of, perhaps building a trap for it, because in the wild, at least in the centre, I can't figure out where we could possibly tame one. On the regular map, there are several locations where it's very, very confined, where the bats will spawn, so you simply hide out there, wait for one to get stuck, and then tame it. In here, I can't quite figure out how we're going to do this, unless we get really, really lucky. If nothing else, we have found out that the glowing eyes are even creepier when you're a little bit closer to them. Is that bat trying to eat another bat which died in the lava? Because it's getting very, very close to it. Getting that close to lava is not a good idea, Bat. Get stuck in a rock instead for me. I've now seen 2 bats kill themselves trying to eat that other bat. Genius. Of course this has happened. I've been here for a few minutes, so naturally we have buggy bats, which I'm completely fine with. But the thing is, I think, yep, there's even one over here. So if we're very careful, I think we should be able to tame these. Maybe, I'm not sure if the rock will actually get in the way. How close do you have to be to these things? There we go, we fed that one once. Just have to keep on coming back, feeding them, then running back again. Did that one just... Wow. They are far too prone to this. I'll be back in a second once I hopefully tame one. Okay, I've just tamed it. It took me forever, and I actually had to then start taming a different bat because the bat I was interested in ended up going and trying to eat a corpse next to the lava. However, we will read this in a moment, but right now I need to run because although I have just reapplied my bug repellent about 100 seconds ago, the bat is going to be attacked by the other bats. I am certain of it. So with that, everyone please follow me, including my lovely Avis, who should be nice and close now. Thank you very much. Let's get out of here as soon as possible, and we are going to go straight up, because near us is all the other bats. Look, there's one bat following our bat. If we can just keep on moving, though, we should be able to move faster. By the way, just for reference, this took about 20 minutes, so I would massively recommend that you build a trap or something. What I did in this episode was stupid, it really was. It took far too long. Especially since you've got the chance of something just running away, like mine did, because some food popped up. I'm also down to like only 6 bug repellent now because of this, so yeah, not the best. Probably cut most of that other than the end. That's it, come on. Also ran out of meat apparently, that's fantastic. I have to steal some from the Avis. That bat is not giving up, but I am not fighting. I am not fighting it, I am not running the risk. I might have to. Actually might have to here. Okay, let's make sure the Avis takes the attack though. Okay, we've got a load of hits in. There we are, well done. Let's get back with our final quarry of the day, the bat. That was hideously boring. So close to being back. Sanity almost completely gone. Bat so slow at flying. But before we get completely back, let's have a quick look at its survivor profile before I forget yet again. Common name, bat, which I will always be calling it. Not large enough to be used as mounts, and not strong enough to carry much. The bat still works well as a guard animal. Whether protecting a vacant home or members of a tribe, their relatively vicious nature has its uses. So, honestly, I don't think I'll be taming a bat again. Well, saying that, I might tame a bat again if I set up some kind of bat trap near Skull Island, but I've got to say, this was one of the most boring, long-winded tame experiences I have had so far in my total playing time of Ark. Just the fact that the first one ended up flying away whilst I wasn't paying attention is really depressing, but also, they're just so hard to tame. You have to get so close to them, you're almost always aggroing them. Thankfully, eventually it does pay off, but I just can't see myself getting more. If I ever do want a flying pack of animals, I will probably go for the Dimorphodon. How long have we been away? Oh, cuddle. Wow, we were away for ages! Oh, you poor penguin. That must have took at least 30 minutes then. Saying that, I have used up all but like 2 or 3 of my bug repellent. Okay. Both of you stop for a second. Avis, you move here. and we're going to set up for the thumbnail. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Ark Survival Evolved is a series you wish to see continued in the future. In the next episode, I will be testing out the ballista turret and the catapult turret. That is the main goal for tomorrow, now that we have 3 of the 5 towers finished over on the wall. Let's defend it with some over-the-top weaponry. Thank you again for watching, and goodbye.